Hey guys, I'm Glenn and welcome to another Glenn Prince Tech video. Amazon, the world's largest e-commerce store. A place where you can buy a smartphone, a bed and garden tools, but can also find interesting items like an ice cream lock, edible grasshoppers, and dinosaur taco holders, all at the click of a button. To the average consumer, this is as good as it gets. What many of us forget is that Amazon isn't just an online retailer. Over 185,000 marketplace sellers offer products on their website. These sellers account for over 96% of products offered on the site, which amounts to a whopping 341 million. Because of this dual role Amazon plays, it has led to massive controversy. In this video, we will look into reports which alleges that Amazon has been unfairly collecting and using data from third-party sellers on its platform. In 1994, Jeff Bezos quit his lucrative job on Wall Street and moved to Seattle, where he would lay the groundwork for his online bookstore, Amazon.com, named after the magnificent South American river. In July of 1995, Amazon went live after Bezos asked 300 friends to beta test his site, which turned out to be a success. Any man with that many friends should not be underestimated. Amazon.com is one of the world's most recognizable sites, but that wasn't its original name. Jeff Bezos initially named his website Relentless.com, but later changed it to Amazon.com after he felt the term relentless came off too strongly to potential customers. Fun fact, if you type in Relentless.com into your browser, you will be redirected to the Amazon website. Amazon's initial success surprised everyone. After the first month, they had sold books in every state in the US, as well as 45 countries around the world. By the second month of operation, their sales ballooned to $20,000 a week. Not bad for a company which began in Jeff's garage. In 1997, Amazon went public with its stock priced at $18 per share. To put that into perspective, its current share price is over $2,700. There were many analysts who doubted Jeff's business strategy, as they believed an online bookstore at the time was unsustainable. Needless to say, these analysts were dead wrong. Amazon had become the biggest online bookstore we'd ever seen. Being an online bookstore meant Amazon did not have to collect sales tax, which gave them an advantage over physical bookstores. Potential customers would go to physical stores to find books that they wanted, but instead of buying them there, they would go to Amazon.com to avoid paying sales tax. Bezos took full advantage of this sales tax leverage by expanding to other products. He began selling CDs, video games, toys, electronics, clothes, and much more. Amazon was doing very well, but Bezos wasn't done yet. He transformed Amazon into a giant online platform and invited thousands of companies, both big and small, to sell their products on his platform. At the time, having over 12 million customers to sell to was too enticing an opportunity to miss out on. This was a win-win situation, as the companies who came on board saw a massive boost in sales, which meant more money for Amazon, who took a percentage of these sales. It wasn't difficult to see how Amazon was the bigger winner though. Not only would the tens of thousands of companies have to pay them for selling on their website, Bezos would also keep his own store on the platform, which meant he was competing against the other companies on a platform he owned and had complete control over. Some liken this to a football match, where you are both the player and the referee. To understand what customers are interested in, Amazon relies heavily on data. It tracks the time spent by users on the site, as well as where they navigated to during a browsing or shopping session. It also monitors what items customers place in their cart and purchase, as well as what wasn't purchased. By collecting this data, Amazon can then recommend products they believe their customers will want to buy. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, A sub to the channel would be massively appreciated. Amazon's dominance has not gone unnoticed. The European Union is now taking a very serious look into Amazon's practices, especially when it comes to the usage of data collected. Because these third-party sellers operate on Amazon's platform, it can see sensitive commercial information on their products, such as price and volume. The EU's top antitrust regulator has opened up a formal antitrust investigation to determine whether or not Amazon is using that data to give its own products an unfair advantage. There's already been a report from the Wall Street Journal which indicated that Amazon has been using data collected from independent sellers on its platform to develop competing products, a practice which contradicts the company's policies. This was after the online giant told the US Congress that when it makes and sells its own products, it doesn't use data from third-party sellers. Amazon has also been accused of abusing the buy box feature on its site. When a customer visits Amazon to make a purchase, the majority of the time they will click the main Add to Cart button located near the price. This is the Amazon buy box. The EU is also keen to find out if Amazon has been unfairly promoting its own products at the expense of third parties. Europe has been cracking down on big tech companies for their abuse of power, some of which include tax evasion, privacy protection, and antitrust practices. Over the past few years, Google has been fined 3 times, amounting to over $9 billion for anti-competitive business practices. They were allegedly burying Google search results for their rivals. 4 years ago, Apple was ordered to pay back over $14 billion for unfair tax benefits it received in Ireland. Prior to 2016, Amazon barely recorded any profits. You may be asking yourself, well, how is that possible? How could such a juggernaut of a company be recording losses for so long? The answer is simple. Jeff's strategy was to sacrifice profits in the short term by gaining market share along the way. Bezos convinced investors to go along with it, promising great returns in the long run. Amazon began aggressively cutting prices for items in pretty much every category. This was seen as a sinister move by small business owners, as they knew it was impossible to compete with Amazon's low prices. These companies would either have to sell or risk the inevitable, which is going out of business. Traditional big companies weren't safe either. Companies like Toys R Us, Rite Aid, Barnes & Noble, just to name a few, have suffered tremendously at the hands of Amazon. In these cases, Amazon acquired competing companies and priced their products so low that making a profit was unrealistic. While it was said to be a move to simply make products more affordable to the consumer, many felt it was an elaborate system to eliminate competition. Amazon knew in order for its rivals to compete with their prices, they would be operating at a loss, something only Amazon at the time could afford to do. From the customer standpoint, this was amazing. Being able to go online and order pretty much anything you want at an unrivaled price is the stuff of dreams. Amazon prides itself on being obsessed with the customer. It's no surprise that many customers believe that everything Amazon is doing is in their best interest. Senior legal officer at the European Consumer Organization, Augustin Reyna, has his concerns about this. In a statement to the BBC, he said, "The question is more, in the medium to long term, if Amazon were allowed to continue with these practices, consolidating its market position, it would be able to restrict choice and push up prices." Although third-party sellers have access to millions of consumers on Amazon's platform, these customers belong to Amazon. So essentially, the third-party sellers are renting customers. If sellers dispute anything with Amazon and feel they are being mistreated, Amazon has the power to bury their products in search results or suspend their accounts. Sellers have claimed that it could take up to a week to get back your account, sometimes even months, or in some instances, accounts were permanently banned. This makes Amazon the judge, jury, and executioner. Third-party sellers claim that if Amazon notices that a particular product is selling well, it comes up with its own version and sells it at a lower price. Another example of how Amazon collected data is from Alexa. Millions of people use it in their homes, which allows Amazon to collect even more data from us. Alexa is always listening and constantly learning. Amazon Echo continues to improve because Amazon hires thousands of people around the world to listen and transcribe recordings to help train the system. The trillion-dollar company was accused of not being transparent with the public about these tactics. While the European Union's investigation into Amazon was welcomed by many, critics say EU investigations take too long to complete and have not resulted in any significant changes to the company's practices. For instance, its inquiry into Google, which I mentioned earlier, took almost 7 years to complete. In that time, Google's market share grew exponentially. If Amazon is found guilty of anti-competitive practices, it could be fined up to 10% of its global revenue, which is roughly $19 billion. Even for Amazon, that would be some serious moolah. This isn't the first time that Amazon has been the subject of an EU investigation. It was ordered to repay 250 million euros back in 2017 over illegal tax advantages it received from Luxembourg, the country of the company's European headquarters. Last year, following an investigation of Amazon in Germany, the company reached a settlement with German regulators over its treatment of third-party sellers. In that settlement, it agreed to accept more legal liability in its contracts with sellers, as well as cover more of the costs related to returns and reimbursements. It appears that Amazon may have their hands filled for quite a while. It was recently reported by the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times that state officials in California and Washington are reviewing Amazon's business practices to determine whether the company is violating any anti-competitive laws. Even if Amazon is eventually found guilty, we can expect an appeal which would take even more time. What do you think about Amazon's business model? Do you believe that some of their practices should be stopped? Or is it up to the other businesses to find innovative ways to compete with Amazon? Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you're interested in seeing more tech videos, subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. I appreciate every single one of you who has been supporting my channel. As always, thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.